When the great jurist Imam al-Shafi'i finally departed Baghdad, he left behind a statement that echoed through Islamic history. He said, "I have left Baghdad, and I have left behind no man better, more knowledgeable, or more pious than Ahmad bin Hanbal." In the 9th century, Islamic scholarship was an intensely rigorous discipline, built entirely on exact text-based preservation and an unbroken chain of human verification stretching back generations. During this era, the ruling caliphs desperately needed the backing of these scholars to legitimize their authority. Because of this, brilliant minds faced a brutal binary. They were either bought with wealth or broken by the sheer force of the state. Ahmad began as an orphan in the streets of Baghdad, yet he eventually constructed a moral fortress so strong that the most powerful empire on earth could not force him to yield. Ahmad deliberately engineered himself into a benchmark for truth, creating a life and a method of study that left no room for state interference. His defense began with raw, unparalleled competence. Starting as a teenager, Ahmad subjected himself to a grueling pursuit of knowledge, traveling thousands of miles on foot across deserts to collect the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad from the oldest living sources. He brought those learnings back to Baghdad, the ultimate intellectual proving ground of the medieval world, where scholars debated fiercely and tested each other's retention. Peer records from the time note a staggering metric. Ahmad successfully memorized 1 million individual hadiths. This was active computational intelligence. Ahmad could instantly cross-reference these texts, tracing complex chains of human narration, known as isnads, and identifying minute textual variations in real time. During intense peer reviews in cities like Kufa, older scholars would intentionally mix up narrators to test him. Ahmad would routinely correct the sequence from memory, without ever needing to consult a physical book. This level of mastery earned him the title of hujjah, or proof. It's a term for a scholar whose knowledge is so absolute, they become the definitive standard of evidence for the masses. By storing the entire religious tradition in his mind rather than relying on paper, Ahmad neutralized his opponents. The state could easily burn a man's library to silence him, but they could not confiscate his memory. Yet raw mental processing power means nothing if the scholar's loyalty has a price tag. To protect his knowledge, Ahmad adopted zuhd, extreme asceticism, as his second line of defense. We see this most clearly during his journey south to Sana'a in Yemen, specifically to study under the renowned master Abdul Razak. The distance was brutal, and upon arriving, Ahmad completely ran out of money. He was soon forced to hide away in his modest room, pawning his own clothes piece by piece just to survive. When Abdul Razak discovered the condition of his brilliant student, he was moved to tears. Out of deep respect, the master took Ahmad by the hand and offered him a handful of gold dinars to ease his suffering. Ahmad gave a flat, unwavering refusal. He told his teacher that he would prefer to do manual labor, copying texts for a wage or weaving belts by hand, rather than accept a single coin of charity or elite patronage. This radical poverty was a calculated armor. By systematically training himself to need absolutely nothing, he guaranteed that no governor, no ruling caliph, or wealthy elite could ever buy his theological alignment. These two pillars, an unassailable mind and an unpurchasable soul, collided with the state during the Mihna, a violent inquisition launched by the Abbasid Empire to force a specific state-sponsored theology onto the entire public. The state apparatus immediately set its sights on Ahmad. They understood that because the public viewed him as the absolute benchmark of truth, forcing him to submit would instantly break the orthodox resistance. The physical reality of the Inquisition was brutal. Ahmad was dragged into chains, thrown into prison for years, and mercilessly flogged by executioners ordered to beat him into compliance. Bleeding under the lash, his interrogators demanded he changed his stance. His response was legendary in its defiance. He looked at his torturers and asked if they truly expected him to stand up and alter the documented words of the prophets. The state found it had no psychological or moral leverage. Because Ahmad had spent a lifetime refusing their money, and because his mastery of the texts was objectively superior to their judges, the state had no way to move him. Ultimately, Imam Ahmad outlasted the Inquisition, proving a harsh reality to the rulers of his day. He demonstrated that true authority cannot be manufactured by wealth, nor can it be coerced by the whip. It is forged only through an incorruptible mind, cementing him forever as the immovable anchor of Orthodox Islam.